for Mpl SG Season 7 playoffs day 1. This could potentially be the final game of the day. Vanguard needs to close it up, and they will make it to day 2. Bleed needs to win this game to stay alive. And for the one more game against Vanguard, should they win.
Right off the bat, of course, we are looking at the Vanguard jungler. They have decided to start on the opposite side of the turtle, while... Okay, Bleed is doing the exact same thing. So their final destination, understandably, is going to be onto the EXP lane. A little bit more of it, pretty much giving the space that the gold lane needs in a 1 versus 1 duel. Because both of these heroes undoubtedly are relatively close range, and carry don't lose in this case of scenario. They are very well matched, so it's pretty much a duel between these two gold laners. But maybe Johnson wouldn't say too much about that. We might see more of these kind of flashes in the later stages once Johnson hits level 4.
Yeah, well, I think level 4 is going to be super key for the side of Vanguard. Once they hit level 4, they're all going to be online. And, you know, even with Johnson's ultimate, right, he can also kind of hand-deliver X-Borg into the waiting arms of Bleed, and it's going to be an absolute disaster for the side of Bleed. Johnson actually pretty decent pick into this team composition, not going to lie.
Wait, what is a good what's a good pick?
Johnson.
No, I think right now, yeah, I mean, we joke about Epic of Glory, but if you notice how Young is drafting for this one, there's a lot of zone denial, right? You talk about Nick Stain's ultimate, you talk about Suni's ultimate, and also deck to a certain extent the last Insanity. There's so many zone denial, and if you take a look at Bleed, a carry needs to get up front and personal in order to dish out the damage, and there's nobody could defend all of that one. Yes, right now, Yon can secure the turtle for now, but you know,
understandable.
Once you hit level 4, especially for Nick Stain, that's this is a Johnson camp time.
Good catch.
Yep, good catch right here. Here comes Suni as well with the ultimate. Not enough damage for now. It's going to be Ken trying to make sure everybody's there right in. The wall will be built by the side of the gear to kind of force and prevent Suni from stepping forward. But then again, it's also kind of a good pick-off coming outside from Bleed right now.
I'm pretty much seeing a deja vu right about now, right? They have managed to infiltrate into the enemy's jungle. That's great. But this time, deck playing as the Xbox doesn't necessarily need the purple buff. But it will understandably still bring down the amount of EXP and gold gain for this jungler. So as long as Bleed keeps this up by trying to get themselves, number 1, the river control, number 2, the jungle control, is all probably going to be great.
Suni right there, it's going to be a wall charge coming off from Gear to kind of slow down the Wamba combo. That's why Gear prefers the Grok instead. Nice disengage coming out from Bleed for now.
Yeah, really well played. I mean, they knocked up Suni, so she won't be able to use her ultimate there. We see Sagitnu being brought down really low, though.
It's not going to be a problem.
Yep. Ken figures out. That's also going to be Dak burning the Last Insanity. Sagitnu still staying alive just a little bit. Jay just need to try to land a snipe. Snipes onto Ken instead. Takes one for the team. Dak will be able to recall back to base.
You're going to have to really look out for Primal Wrath. That's the power of Edith. Being able to completely turn things around when you least expect it. Bleed, they are still on a pretty good run, I would say, with 1600 gold advantage with a 2-kill lead on top of Vanguard. Vanguard still is unable to find themselves those kills that they definitely need. But to be fair, this is not necessarily a pick-off comp that we want to see. Or maybe it is, because we're looking at the Johnson.
Right now, it's going to be Johnson. Suni activates the ultimate as well. It's Yon, though. Appraiser's Wrap takes a lot of damage from here. Ken will be dragging Yon. Dak stepping forward to burn, but now Suni getting caught right here. Jay landing down the damage. Sagitnu picking up a double kill instead. 2 members from the side of Vanguard already down. Now the turtle fight will ensue, but there's no fight at all because Bleed has secured 3 members from the side of Vanguard.
We're talking about value here. You're taking 2 ultimates from a roamer as well as a mage to try to kill 1 person on the opposite side, being the Fredrin in this case. If you're unable to kill 1 person, then you are losing in the ultimate economy.
You couldn't even take down the Fredrin, man. I mean, like, the Fredrin was just happily just taking the damage, and he's like, you know what? Great help. Appraiser's Wrath in your face. Let's go. Look, Yon was just chilling. And it's just unfortunate to see 2, like you said, ultimate economy. 2 ultimates used in exchange for nothing. Not even a kill of the target that you chose, by the way.
Right now, I'm not really liking this right here. Yes, it's kind of interesting to see this, but don't forget, whenever Suni is in the car, but now Seiji will be actually get bang on top. It says Seiji step forward. The amount of zone denial will not be able to found though. Suni takes down Gear, however, but Seiji will be able to get out of dodge. The Braces right will be able to land. Lucian Stain, nice side step right here. Nick Stain, Lucian Stain, the Stain brothers make it work, but Jay punishes Nick Stain right in the middle of the head.
I felt that meteor hit me, man. Dude, that was threading a thin needle. But Jay, of course, picking up the pace as well, showing why he can play the Novaria with confidence.
Weapon Master Emblem onto Odette.
What?
He wants more growth out of her items, more damage into the later stages of the game. Seems like that Odette and that Johnson combination might actually be one of their main win condition that they want to see in the later stages of the game. They just want to go for a foolproof crash and kill. Especially since we're looking at Gear, Yon, and Sagitnu. All three of them are the undesirable crash target. And all these three heroes want to be crashed upon. And we're talking about Grok too. When it comes down to building up the barrier, that is perfect. You will make him crash, you lose one ultimate on the opener side, and you lost absolutely nothing.
That is very, very true. And actually, you know, while driving, right?
Really? Yep, no, just that. Sagitnu, takes the crash right underneath the turret, and they know they cannot bite at all. Vanguard will have to bugger off.
I was gonna say, right, so Suni's actually losing valuable
Yes.
EXP whilst doing all of this, right?
Yes.
She is only level 7 in compared to Jay's level 9. That's 2 entire levels down. And honestly, I don't even see where to farm it, where she's getting farmed.
Yeah, they're repeating this vicious cycle over and over again in great hopes that they will be able to get the kill. So with Suni with not
is
enough
sanity.
EXP to even buff up her ultimate damage later on, and not enough gold to really do anything, while also missing out onto the macro portion of the game. Because they can't apply pressure in the Turtle's Pit, they can't apply pressure on opposite of the Turtle's Pit, they can't really show and put up bushwhack positions. Well, let's just put it this way, they're going on a road trip. And this road trip is a venture to the unknown.
Country road.
Take me home.
And that's literally what it feels like at this point. I'm just watching a car drive around. Hey, guys, just checking. Are we playing the right game?
I question myself sometimes as well.
Feels like we're playing some sort of racing game instead of Mlbb, right?
But you gotta admit, Nick's driving
his
skills
driving
really
skills
good.
is good. I want to
really
say that
good.
as well. He actually sticks really close to the wall at times, and he don't crash.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing, but now it's going to be
Hello?
crashing on
Okay,
Sagitnu
never
instead.
mind.
Suni goes into ultimate, and now the members from the side of Vanguard will pour it in. Don't forget, there's also a turret working against them, and now Yon coming from the flank. Gear as well, the wall will be built. The wall charge right in the face, and Restriction staying on the other side of the wall. Now the Gear wall actually went in the favor of Vanguard, but now Bleed will be stepping forward instead. Jay sniping Suni down, and now it's two members from the side of Vanguard down. Bleed will be abusing that. They'll be taking those.
Yeah,
2-for-1
look,
trade.
honestly speaking, 2-for-1 trade, that's pretty worth it inside of Bleed with 3.3k gold lead at this point of the game. But we do see Suni doing the highest amount of damage, no surprise there.
It's pretty funny, actually. This game is kind of like a trolley game coming from the side of Vanguard after winning game 1. I'm not too sure whether this is completely sincere or this is actually just a legitimate game plan that they have pulled off before, or they believe. So this is what happens, right? You pick up heroes or strategies that is not commonly used in competition, where these professional teams may not necessarily be well prepared for it. I think that is probably something that Vanguard is trying to tap into. But amidst of doing all of these strategies, they are still missing out valuable resources, with Nick Stain and Suni still at level 8. At this point in time, Nick Stain and Suni gotta have to buy their own boots.
They need to do something because this does not seem to be working for them as of this point. But keep in mind that there hasn't been many big team fights as of yet, right? So potentially that's what Nick Stain is looking for as he crashes into
So
Sagitnu.
you know, once again, there's a lot of damage. Lucian Stain just outputting Spear's damage right here. Now there's also going to be the wall charge connecting onto Nick Stain. Sage is just going in the speedy light whiz right here. Lost insanity. Pop! Would not be able to tag onto anybody but Jay, just outputting damage. But once again, Vanguard is losing HP, but they will be able to pick up Sagitnu.
Something's not right over here. I'm looking at the fact that Nixon and Zuni has constantly been going around the map, not really clearing waves or playing the macro game. Zuni is currently at 4,400 gold. Nixon at 4,100 gold. The one person that should be going around and getting a lot of farm is gonna be Luxian with 0-0-4, with 4 assists to his name. He's currently 4,300 gold. What gives?
That is strange, man. That could be a visual bug, perhaps, but moving back into the match with Cecil.
Oh, Ken getting straight. Not only just that, it's going to be CG. Petrify will be able to land. CG spamming the speedy light wheels. He gets all away. Yon as well. One little dot. Last insanity right there to burn him to pieces. And now Vanguard just creating a little bit more space. Yes, they sacrifice 2 members, but they take down Yon instead.
And Lord hasn't been picked up yet, actually, if you notice. Lord is still alive and healthy. So the play that Vanguard just did bought them enough time. And the gold lead has shrunk, by the way. Right now, Bleed only at a 2.2k gold lead ahead. Previously, it was, I believe, 3k. So, okay, looking at this state of the game at this point in time, right? We're 11 minutes in. 5 kills for Vanguard, 11 kills for Bleed. Vanguard, honestly, just needs to buy a little bit more time, right? If they buy a little bit more time, I reckon that this Odette Johnson combination is going to be doing a lot more, especially later in the game when everyone is grouped up for the Lord fight.
How long would that take? That is the question. Because they have been doing this time and time again, and their EXP
There's another crash right here. Suni immediately gets sniped down by Jay. I feel like Bleed has figured out the pattern right here. Not only just that, CG stepped forward, it's just shredding onto Ken's damage. The barrier will be built. Jay lands down the snipe, and Yon works on the Lord instead.
Yeah, seems like the strategy has been figured out. Nick Stain and Suni need to quickly pivot to a different kind of strategy. If not, this is going into a game 3.
Yep, nice adaptation coming off from Bleed right here. Yon secures the Lord for themselves, zoning deck away. No way the deck could step forward, and not only just that, Jay landing down the damage, just dissuading Vanguard from stepping forward to take the Lord pit.
Yeah, this game, at this point, Vanguard needs to pull off something drastic. They need
Not again! Oh, here we go. Another crash right here. And it's also going to be Suni stepping forward. Immediately gets shredded by Seiji, though. Getting target focused down. Luxian just shredding. We'll be able to find Sagitnu instead. That's going to be a trade for the mid laner and the EXP laner.
It's a 1-for-1 trade. Pos 3 for Pos 4. Still not exactly a very good trade for Vanguard. But regardless, Bleed has been slowly and very gradually just earning these income, all these passive gold. They are now 4,100 gold ahead of Vanguard, not necessarily by a large margin, especially since probably, 5 minutes ago is just only been 3,000 gold. So Bleed is not exactly having that good of a game either. If they were to go up against a more proper lineup, I gotta have to say that they probably would start to lose those lead.
Oh, watch your back line! Oh, that was so close. Nick Zane could have just crashed onto them, and now Ken takes a bit of damage from the side of Bleed. But that could have gone so badly for Bleed right there.
We just see the Johnson coming around for the long flank, perhaps. They're closing in. Oh, dude, it seems like Nick actually crashed into something.
Get it scouted out instead, and now Suni and Nick Zane on the other side of the wall. Jay just outputting damage, hoping it connects. But once again, Bleed pushing Vanguard back into the wall once again, and you know, this is similar to game number 1, right?
Similar to game 1, but slightly different game state. If you notice, the team compositions wise, in terms of the Johnson and the Odette, they aren't going to be doing too much if they're going for straight on 5v5 team fight, right? Johnson and Odette much better at picking off targets.
At this point in time, I just really hope that Nick Stain as well as Zuni did manage to buy quite a bit of investments just so that they can improve their passive income at this point. Just keep on racking up all those goals, slowly get there. Hey, I have a house, rental unit, here's some more passive income, money, money, money. Because they're not farming. They can't farm. So they gotta have to find some goals somewhere else.
He started to sound a little bit like Mo Man, but...
I know, right?
But yes, you know, you're absolutely right. I think they're both down on EXP and farm. Keep in mind, Suni is at level 11, and Jay is level 14. That is 3 levels right now. There's a 3-level gap right now. And even on the side of Gear is level 13. That's 2 levels ahead of Nick Stain. Honestly speaking, this strategy seems to not be super hot, but they're still sticking to the guns.
One thing that I just can't understand is the gap and the gap between the mages. It's a 4-item Novaria versus a 2-item Odette, but yet they don't seem like they are leading by a lot at all. The gameplay doesn't feel as though like Bleed is having like a tremendous time, like crazy time. It just doesn't translate well.
You know what this feels like?
Game 1.
No, it just feels like you know, a period of time back in the history, right? Books, right? You just want to slow down the enemy from advancing. That's basically what Vanguard is doing right now.
Yeah, that's true. They are preventing any kind of movement on the board at this point. Odette having 4K difference between the Novaria and the Odette is brutal at this point. You know, 16 minutes into the game with the Enhanced Lord rushing down the mid. Vanguard, I don't see a way for them to win this, to be honest.
As much as I really want to see them be able to win with a troll draft like this, it would be funny, but it would be such a painful lesson to Bleed. And
Yeah, it is.
I don't want that from the Bleed boys. So technically speaking, looking at them doing this is pretty okay.
Lord charging in the mid. Nobody from the side of Vanguard is actually focusing on in. Jay just outputting damage out from the front. Where's Seiji though? Seiji is already long gone. But Sagitnu, here comes the secondary amount of damage. Will be shredding Natsuni. Will be taking down Ken at the same time. And now Jay landing the snipe is up to Lichtenstein to basically focus on the Lord instead. But the Lord is already hillaging onto the core as well.
Ouch.
Bleed. But no, it's gonna be wave cleared for the side of Vanguard, and they will defend for now.
For now, because the bottom lane wave is coming in as well.
look
Jay!
Spirit of Destruction catches gear, and now he blinks all the way back to the wave clear. And man, they defended.
The fight is not over yet, though. Never mind, it's over now.
What is
Guys,
going on?
guys?
in this game?
I don't know what I'm doing now. Guys.
What is going on in this game? How did Bleed not finish that game?
7-16. I can understand that Lichtenstein, understandably, he clears waves fast, right? Looking at his passive and all, and the spear that landed, pretty solid, right? Did manage to pop a couple of immortality over to the side of Bleed. Stirred and instilled some chaos and fear onto Bleed, because I'm pretty sure that by now, Bleed already have this this fear of rejection in their hearts, and they are just like, you know what, we gotta play safe, we gotta be real careful, we can't make a mistake now in fears of repeating what happened in game number 1. But this indecisiveness may also actually turn out to be their downfall, which I really don't want to see that happening.
Right now, Lee just taking it slow right here. Just looking for any pickoff right now. But they're not really off a catch. In fact, it's Vanguard's a game to kind of find another person to catch. But it's smart that Bleed doesn't want to handshake in team fights right now because the Lord has spawned. As long as they keep Vanguard back in the base, they do have something to work with.
Yeah, we see Bleed grouping up for the Lord. The Lord's super, it's going to be their definite win con, right? We see deck being kind of chunked out a little bit in terms of HP, but I believe Bleed is just going to safely get this Lord.
Tuni and Nickstein is still at level 13, guys. They're still at level 13.
Oh, here we go. It's going to be smashing onto Yon instead. The Petrified will be able to land, and Jay gets tagged by the Spirit of Destruction. Seiji will be able to shred down Nickstein right here. Suni and the Wild Charge connects onto Ken, gets knocked up sky high. Seiji picks up a double kill. Deck burning Sagitnu on the other side. Suni in no man's land. Nicholas back to safety. Deck is still alive though. No retribution. Yon still has his own. And Deck, there's no last insanity unless Lichtenstein can do something, anything to kind of slow it down. But Retribution still connected by the side of Yon to secure the Lord. Last insanity, but a bit late. And it's also... Oh, Jay, my man. I puckered right there. I puckered.
I squeezed.
Yeah, I squeezed.
a quick little clench at the point in time.
The timing though, coming up in Jay.
Boy. Man. But with that all said and done, the Lord is now going to be marching in the middle lane. Gear and Sagitnu unfortunately would not be here to support with this Lord push. As such, this Lord take is probably not gonna amount to anything, as Vanguard should be able to dispatch the Lord as quickly as possible with their current lineup.
Bleed is having a lot of trouble to end this. And this has been a coherent, consistent theme, even in the upper brackets against RSG, right? They cannot end the game. It's just mind-boggling how Bleed was able to, just do everything according to textbook, right? But how are they going to end this game against Vanguard when Vanguard has just decided, okay, you know what? I'll play the long game with you. Now the items are all more or less equal. Sunni has already secured Blood Wings.
Finally, level 15.
Yeah, and now the levels and the items doesn't matter anymore.
No, it still matters because Sunni still have one more slot to fill.
No, but honestly, the later this game goes, right, the less it makes difference. And honestly speaking, it really feels like a repeat of Game 1. Yes, it's a lot more hard. It's a lot harder for Vanguard to pull off their composition. But honestly speaking, it's like you said, Abstract. It feels weird. It feels like the gold amount didn't amount to anything for the side of Bleed. Yes, they pushed in all 3 turrets, but honestly, it's all 3 turrets down, 1 minute to the next Lord. They should be able to theoretically just push in.
They've took Lord 3 times. They've got all the turrets down. They took 3 turtles. They have double of the kills on this, against Vanguard. And Vanguard have got 2 players that is not active in lanes. The lack of macro from the side of Vanguard should have been the massive crack in the armors of Vanguard, where Bleed should be able to take advantage of. The places where the roamer is not able to open up the map. Places where Bleed can actually stay in the brush and waiting for that perfect opportunity. They have Jay that gives them information. They can poke. They can play they can play that steady game of I stare at you, you stare at me for the longest period of time, because Bleed will have the advantage due to the fact that they have an Novaria. But that is not coming into fruition. Bleed is still having issues to end the game against a lineup like this from the side of Vanguard.
Here comes again, Yawn will get stunned right here. That's also going to be Seiji all the way in the backline, and nice stun. Yawn has to bugger away because he's taking so much damage.
Ooh.
Jay, Luxenstein gets knocked up at the same time right in the bay. Jay will be able to secure onto Luxenstein. No much damage from the side of Vanguard anymore. Lee will be able to collapse onto the members of Vanguard, and Jay taking names one by one. 3 members on the side of Vanguard already down. Bleed maybe just gonna ignore the Lord, because look at the death time, it's super long, and Vanguard cannot afford any more casualties. And Bleed taking down the deck. Ken will be next. Seiji just focus on the coin stand. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Bleed claws all the way back up against Johnson on that drop.
And the head rolls for the side of Vanguard. They're unable to continue on with the McDonald's drive-thru in this game. I guess they have been driving around a little bit too much for them to gain a grasp and a control in the mid stages and the late stages of the game. All the way until the end game, it took too long.
You can take